Well, my first day of high school, I went to my locker and was doing the combination and it wouldn't work. And I was convinced that I had someone put the wrong lock on my locker. And I went up to the office and complained about it and was late to my first hour class because of it. And it turns out I was doing the wrong locker.
So this was 2 weeks ago, but it was in the middle of passing period and I had a brand new water bottle. It was in the top shelf of my locker and I just kind of moved something and it fell and bounced across the hallway a couple times before shattering, and it was full of water in the middle of passing period. It was awful. And then someone just said, "Oh, you've got a big mess to clean up." I just kind of walked away.
Yeah, mine was like the first day last year, and I was in the wrong class. I was in the right teacher's class, but I was in the wrong hour. I was supposed to be in 6th hour, but I was actually in the 4th hour class because I was mixed up with my WACC time. And so I was like, okay, this is done. Now I need to go to this class. And so the teacher reads off the entire roster, and then she's like, okay, here's your name who I did not call. So I just raised my hand, and she was like, what's your name? I was like, Braden. It's like, there's not a Braden here. There's a Braden in my 6th hour. He was like, so then I just had a blank expression off my face and just walked out of the room.
So this moment is kind of embarrassing, not because it actually happened to me directly, but because I was just in this environment. And when I went down to Allstate, we had this girl in our choir, after we got done performing, she literally threw up, all on her robe, all on everything. So we're in the middle of an orchestra performance, and we're trying to get a teacher to come over and help her out. And we're doing this in the middle of this big formal affair. So not only was it kind of embarrassing for her, and I knew her, so I felt really bad for her, but it was really just awkward because they recorded, so they probably have recordings of me waving my hands hey, come help us.
I'd have to say my most embarrassing moment was probably during a track meet. I was in a 4x2 and I was supposed to exchange the baton. But before I even got to the next person, for some reason my mind told me that I had to cut because I was thinking of indoor season. We always cut during indoor season. And so I started cutting and I knew there was a girl. Right when I crossed the line, there was a girl behind me. And right then I knew that I had disqualified our relay. And I was so embarrassed and avoided Gomer the rest of the meet.
For me, it has to be freshman year in Mrs. Drew's English class. I always got picked to do stupid things like putting stuff on the board and putting stuff on the shelves. Anyways, so she has these vocab lists, and I thought it would be cool to stand on the desk and put the list on the wall, and I knocked her favorite vase off the shelf, and it landed on Stacia Hughes' forehead, and she didn't remember anything that happened for the next 20 minutes.
My sophomore year, we were playing a basketball game. It was senior night, and there was 7 seconds left, and we had just got a steal, and I thought it was 2 seconds left. So instead of trying to get the layup, I shot. My teammates yelled shoot, which they didn't know the time either. So it really wasn't my fault, but I shot a half-court shot with 7 seconds left, and everybody was like, no. But the bright side of it was, I almost made it.
The SHS golf team, they won conference in golf for the first time in 10 years, and then we won the regional, so that was probably my proudest moment, was being there for that. And then we got second in the Australian Invite, and we lost to a team that has 2 kids that are sponsored by, one by Adidas, one by TaylorMade, so it wasn't anything to be mad about when we lost.
My favorite moment in high school was probably when I got to go to state with the GI team, which was super cool because I'm not an actor. I don't know how to talk in front of people very well. I'm not a performer with the speech region by any means, but I had to go to this drama event, and I was the musician, so I had to hide behind the stage. And I was miserable both years that we went because I was just sick all the time. But we got 4th place one year, which was just a really big deal.
And then, I'm on the girls' golf team, and we had a winning season for the first time in years. But that's not my proudest moment. This year I was finally on contest play, and we tied our highest finish at state finals, and we got 4th place.
I'd have to say I'm really proud of our track team, especially this year. I've noticed that like we've had lots of indoor state records that are broken, or school records that have been broken, and even just over the years, from freshman year to senior year, just watching the girls grow and come together as a team.
Probably just the arts, part of the theater program and choir, because like that's really what I want to do with my life. So having the tools available here to discover myself, that my love for it is awesome. It's fun to do it like every day.
I'd have to say speech team, I think. I mean, especially just like seeing everyone grow from the beginning of the season to the end, and just really what we can accomplish as a team. It's pretty cool, and it's fun. I love it.
I would say probably football too, kind of going along with the theme of sports and activities, but it's fun to watch how people change from like freshman year to the end of their varsity career.
I would say focus, like don't let the little things get away from you. Like if it's just a worksheet or something that you might not have to do, like put your effort into those little things because they build up a lot over time, and you really want that kind of grade padding or whatever on your side.
I would say would probably have a plan for like maybe meet like maybe once every like 2 weeks with like your counselor and discuss what you want to do, where you want to go, and how you could get there.
Mine's don't procrastinate. I'm a very bad procrastinator. I like wait until the absolute last second to do it. And like I started off the year applying to the University of Iowa, and I was like, okay, I don't need to do anything else. But now it's like April, and I need to apply for like 15 scholarships that are due in like 2 weeks, so don't do that.
My advice to the incoming senior class would be, I guess, to take this next year into real consideration. There are so many students I know here, and I'm not just speaking of my class, that say how much, they can't wait to graduate and they can't wait to leave Sterling. And, if that's really a goal, like, I really hope you achieve that. But I really hope you enjoy your time here at the high school, because it's been some of the best years of my life, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. And although I am excited to graduate, I know that I'm really going to miss coming here every day and seeing my friends and seeing the teachers that have taught me so much over these past 4 years. So really enjoy your senior year.
Just piggybacking off of that, just really have fun with it, enjoy it. Don't get so overwhelmed by the college decisions and all those things, because those things there will be a time for that. There's also time to enjoy yourself and just cherish these moments, because this is truly like probably the last year you really have to be a kid.
I'd have to say, as your last year of high school, try out for something new. If you end up liking it or hating it, at least you'll have the knowledge of knowing that you went outside of your boundaries and did something that maybe you've always wanted to do, or something that you took a little interest in.
And then my advice for the incoming senior class is when it comes down to it and you're trying to pick between like two colleges, like I ended up being stuck between the University of Illinois and the University of Iowa, go with your gut.
Yeah, for the advice is I'd make sure to work on scholarships whenever they come out. Don't wait till the last deadline to do it. Make sure that you have everything in line, and don't say, oh, I'll do it next week. Do it now, because you might forget about it, or you might be like, oh, forgot about it.
For me, I think it's really important that as an incoming senior, it's your job to leave a legacy, whether that be with athletics or your grades or who you are as a person. Whatever you're doing, make sure that you're doing it so that the last thing that people remember you as is positive, and it's something that you look back on and remember happily.
So my freshman year, I had Mr. Gomer for Accelerated World History, and he tried really hard to try and get me to go out for track, because he always kind of does that. And I hadn't ran track or thrown or anything in middle school, so I really didn't want to do it. But now I really regret it, because it would have kept me in shape more in the golf off season, and going in the summer getting ready to play golf. And so I wish I would have done it, because I think my game would have improved a lot faster.
Probably swimming. All those guys have a really good time, and like they're all kind of like a family, and like a lot of my friends are in swimming, but all those guys just have great stories to tell.
I've always wanted to join the swim team, and I've had like a couple people tell me, hey, you should join. But ironically, I don't know how to swim, so it's kind of a problem. But I actually always kind of wanted to get more involved with theater. I always thought it was so cool watching people perform during plays and everything, but I never really saw myself as an actress or felt really comfortable in front of groups of people. But I think that would have helped me just step outside my boundaries, even for like after high school.
I wish I just would have been involved in more clubs, like have the initiative to go out and do whatever I wanted, not like say, oh, like don't be so self-conscious, just go out, try it. If you don't like it, so be it, just don't do it again.
I wish that I would have done more of like the arts kind of. I think I'd focus more on athletics, and I think it would be fun to be a part of something that's not like kind of out of my comfort zone.
I always wanted to try soccer, and I never did, so that's kind of a regret for me. But
always wanted to try some sort of sport, but I never had the time. Like probably nothing like football or baseball, but probably just like something like tennis or something like that.
Extracurriculars I would have done more, or I wish I would have done, was track. I wish I would have done that for all 4 years, because I mean, track's really fun if you like really buy into it and you've been around a long time. And also would just help me with other things also. And probably would have done like baseball or tennis. I know all those things are like in the same season, but I think I would have liked to try one, like at least once.
I never got a chance to be a part of football cheer. I was always a part of basketball cheer because I swim during fall. But I've had so many of the girls tell me how different football cheer and basketball cheer is, and I really would have liked to experience being out on the field with the football players instead of just being in the stands. I wish I would have gotten to know Mr. Johnson. I wasn't able to take any of his science classes, but all the students that I know who do take his classes honestly always have the best things to say about him. They say he cares a lot about his students and that he's so much fun and he is so helpful when it comes to the curriculum.
Person for me I'd like to get to know better, like would have been friends with, or wish could have been, was Abby Gunderson, because she seems like, I have in a couple classes, she seems really smart, and she seems pretty funny also, and it just been probably really cool just to know that person.
I think more so like our school is kind of divided on like arts and athletics, and I wish that I kind of knew more of the people that participated in things other than athletics.
I think I would kind of say the same, but the opposite, because I hang out with like the arts kids, so I don't know, I probably could have like branched out a little bit more.
I'd probably have to say the same thing too.
I think for me, I wish I would have gotten to know people in different groups. Like even though our senior class, we do kind of have our own little separate groups and we still work together really well, but I find myself more comfortable within my own friend groups, so I kind of wish I would have reached out to other groups or even like other classes and gotten to know them better.
I wish I could have gotten to know Dana Francis, who was this other AP Lang and Comp teacher last year at the high school. I had Mrs. French, who was like my BFF. I know, that's sad. I'm one of those people who make friends with teachers. But everyone who had him just thought he was like the coolest, and he had Game of Thrones posters in his room, so I mean, he must have been at least somewhat awesome.
I wish I would have taken more art classes with Mrs. Roddy, because I had her for 3D art, and she was really cool. She was just laid back.
For me personally, first thing I really made a priority when I came to high school was, learn everybody's name, get to know them so that you can walk up to them and say, hi, my name's Gabe, what's your name? Or at least know their name and be able to acknowledge their presence.
Probably like the friends I've made, like a lot of my friends aren't in this class, but a lot of like my best friends are. And a lot of them I've been friends with since like first grade. It's like we've gone through first grade all the way through 12th together.
I think it's interesting how different everyone is, but how like when you get put in a group with someone that you don't really know, I think it's pretty easy to just get along with them and kind of make new friends. And so even though we're all really different, we kind of mesh together pretty well.